2.1 million. 2.1 million. What does that mean? On the face, it means absolutely nothing. But in 2019 of last year, the Veteran Administration initiated the Veteran Choice Program and the Community Care Program, whereas it is estimated that approximately 2.1 military veterans, as well as their families, will be seen by non-VA doctors, medical providers. Hello, my name is Tanja Thompson. I am a 2-time breast cancer survivor, 25-year military veteran, and a patient advocate. I have received my care internal and external to the military organization, the military hospitals and military clinics. Whereas when I was diagnosed in 2010, all of my military care, all of my treatment was received through a civilian oncologist, radiologist, and breast surgeon. The title of my presentation is Transformational Listening and Cultural Competency, Service to Veterans, the military service members, and their families. One of the things that sticks with me as I've served in the military, as I mentioned, for 25 years, and that is there's a 3-part presentation. 1, tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them. So today's presentation, I will help you better understand how to culturally interact with the military and the veteran community. And you know where that interaction actually starts? It actually starts in your office. When the veteran or the military member shows up for their first appointment. So let's deep dive into it. Something to consider while listening, unless you understand their language, their culture, why they joined, their commitment to the mission and the role of honor, trust, and sacrifice in the military service, you will not be able to adequately intervene and offer care to those families and their veterans. So that's one reason to listen. You don't have to walk a mile in my shoes, but you have to know that I don't wear shoes, but that I wear boots. All military members wear boots. So let's review transformational listening and cultural competencies. What is transformational listening? Transformational listening uses both your brain and your heart to create the foundation for rapid rapport. How you listen changes everything. It goes beyond just what we call active listening. It's being present. It's being in the space. It's being in the moment. It brings awareness. It's being intentional, focus, and holding that space. It's about creating an open, welcoming, safe space for the speaker that allows what needs to be said to come out. How you listen can change everything, everything. As a provider, let me ask you this. How are you listening? My current deep dive into listening has shown me 3 things. Listening to, for, and from. We listen to each other all the time. You're probably listening to things right now, external environments to this presentation. However, truly listening to one another and the deeper meaning behind the words is often missing. That's the gap. Truly hearing one another means listening beyond the words. And the information listening is for emotion and the values that it brings. Let me give you a perfect example. When I was diagnosed in 2010 with breast cancer, I had to go through chemo. After chemo, I was put on tamoxifen. Tamoxifen, for me, I had the worst side effects. And the number one that's on the list is hot flashes. I can remember doing a presentation and 100 and some people were in the room. As I'm standing there at the podium, the light shining me, and I'm just really getting into it, I just started to sweat profusely. Someone on the front row went to the bathroom and got me paper towels because I was sweating so, to wipe the sweat. When I communicated that to my doctor, to my oncologist, he understood exactly what I was talking about because we built that relationship, because we had that rapport. That's what's important. This report enabled you as a healthcare professional to connect on a holistic and have a holistic conversation during which you can develop trust with your patient so that you can have that relationship. A wise person once told me, as you see the picture over in the corner, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Learn to use them in proportion. What does it mean to be culturally competent relative to the military culture? Let me tell you this. Veterans will differ how they continue to identify with military culture after separation, retirement, discharge, what have you, 4, 10, 15, 20 years, even 60 years after retirement. But rarely do they consider their service to be minor, minuscule event in their lives. Often those values and aspects of identity they acquire while serving will continue way past the time that they separated or discharged from the military and moving into civilian life. Each veteran will have their own unique story about their military service. It is invaluable for providers to have an appreciation and understanding on a larger context in which these stories have taken place. Learning about military culture includes a deeper dive of understanding the structure of the military, such as the branches of the service, ranks, being enlisted, being an officer. No, we're not asking you to know it all, but at least know that we exist. So let's begin with this one question that all providers, I hope, are asking, and that is this one. Are you currently serving or have you served in the military? Yes, it's an icebreaker question. It's very simplistic, but it does make an impact. So let me ask you, are you asking this question? Is it included on your forms? Do you review your forms prior to seeing the patient, at least saying, thank you for your service? As a retired military veteran with 25 years, when I hear a provider ask this question, it means 2 things. One, that you've actually reviewed my file prior to seeing me, but meant what it means for all service members, past, present, and future. It's an acknowledgement that you as a provider understand where your freedom has come from. It brings great joy and pride to all veterans to hear those words. If you think about it, you have now engaged in transformational listening and being militarily, culturally competent. So you ask, what's next? This is what's next. It's those follow-on questions. These questions or something similar should be a part of your standard operating procedure, meaning your SOP. It makes a difference in the care that you provide to your veteran and to your military community. What does transformational listening mean in the realm of cultural competency, in the unique readiness of treating veterans? Asking, have you served in the military? That may seem like a minor issue, but it's actually much more important than what you might think. And it's a question that few doctors make a point of asking, even though many medical residents and medical students receive all or part of their clinical training at a VA medical center and hospital. For number one, as we mentioned, there's 4 branches of the service. But let's go on to the second point. What is your specialty? There's personnel, medical, finance, flight line, logistics, supply, jet fuel mechanic, security police, aircraft, electrician, crew chief, artillery mechanic. All of those are important. But then also, what's the difference between stateside and deployed? Deployed means to move into position for military action at any given time. There are approximately 170,000 military troops that are deployed for more than 30, 60, 90 days in 150 countries, Middle East, Europe, East Asia. It makes a difference because that too can understand where they've served to provide the necessary treatment. So now, in conclusion, we're coming to the end. The Veteran Choice Program affords 22 million veterans to receive treatment by military providers. Try noticing your ways of being when you think you are listening. Challenge yourself to be honest with yourself. Remember that until we are conscious of something, we can't change it or become intentional with it. Challenge yourself this week to really listen. Yes, simplistic but powerful questions. How you ever served in the military? Not all military patients are alike. Yes, we wear the uniform, we all wear boots, but know that each patient is different. Thank you so very much. I hope you have enjoyed this presentation. Again, this is Tanja Thompson, 2-time breast cancer survivor and 25-year military veteran. Thank you. Whew.